today we're going to walk through one of my favorite Star Citizen tools, erkul.games. This is how I build all of my ships, whether it's the big ships, little ships, anything that's been released. I use this website very frequently. It's my go-to, and yeah, so let's just check it out real quick. So Erkul is a fan-made website that pulls data from Star Citizen files. Just for reference, it's not always perfect. However, 9 times out of 10, it probably is accurate. Now, the big things to know about Erkul itself is on the left is your main navigation here. And in the top right, before you do anything, you're just going to want to keep an eye on this. So it'll always default to live, but if you're ever looking for the PTU version, you can click that button in the top right. It'll flip all the data to be the PTU data. We're going to work in live today. And so Erkul is a way to customize your ship without having to navigate throughout the entire stand-in system and figure everything out yourself. It displays a lot of critical information about the ship stats. So let's go ahead and jump in. This lists every ship that is in-game currently for the live version of the game, as well as all the details you'd really care to know about it. Of course, you might want to know more information, but I'd say the majority of what you tend to need to know about. This does have a focus on combat, because outfitting your ship in any other way right now doesn't really mean anything, so it's mostly going to be for combat. So let's say for a second we want to see the Avenger Titan. So here it is right here, the Avenger Titan, popular ship, everyone loves it, right? Now you can select like this and then click compare select to see just those ones specifically. Or if you're ready to go into more detail and start customizing your ship, just go ahead and click that little arrow. And now it'll bring up the ship page. This is really where the magic of the website happens. This is the calculator, and it's really potent. So you see a picture of your ship in the top hand right, you'll see the name over here to the right. You also see some other important options to select another ship or vehicle, to save it, or to share your loadout. So first I want to take a look at the weapons. So in the top left hand corner is always your weapons. You can see here we have gimbal size 3 and then 2 gimbal size 2s. So you can go ahead and select this here so that you can select what weapon you'd like, and you'll see it actually displays the DPS for each weapon. Now pay attention, because some weapons have a lower DPS, but they'll have a higher alpha. So if we select like a cannon, like the Deadbolt, we have 625 DPS. And then if you come over here to the right, you'll see all the information on that Deadbolt. So if you want to compare it, click this little info button, and you'll see now the badger's displayed instead. And it'll tell you what size weapon it is, what the DPS is, the alpha damage. As you can see, the badgers just have 40 alpha damage, whereas if we go back to the deadbolts have 188 alpha damage. You'll find the fire rate. The overpower and overclock are a little antiquated now that that's not really in the game. That might come back though. Range, speed, ammo count, pellets per shot, etc. So it gives you all the details you would want on that one tab. What's extra cool about it is at the very bottom you'll see where to actually buy this. That's awesome, and it'll tell you how much it's going to cost you too. If you continue over to the far right, you'll see the name Avenger Titan again, right? But it's going to list out all of the details of your ship combined. So that's really nice to know, because you can say, are my turrets firing, are my weapons firing? You'll see the power drain change. Obviously this ship doesn't have any mining components, so that doesn't change anything, but you can get an idea of what your total DPS, your total alpha, and total potential damage are going to be, as well as your shield and hull. So looking back over here at the weapons, before getting too far off, you can actually change the type as well. So if we had all gimbals before, we can actually go ahead and select it to all fixed. You'll see they size up appropriately, and then you can select the next size weapon. So that quickly lets you create a 2000 DPS Avenger Titan with deadbolts, or maybe you want to do all laser repeaters. That's also an option. But you can see really quick that the all laser repeater loadout's about 400 DPS less than the all deadbolt, and so now you're starting to play around with it and get an idea of how to increase the damage on your ship. You know, you're not going to run out of ammo this way, but you're not going to do as much damage. However, if we even just bring back that one Deadbolt 4, you'll see it jumps up pretty substantially. So that's the weapons and calculating the DPS of the individual items as well as the group items. Next we have missiles down below. Same thing as before, you can select what missile you want, it'll tell you how much damage it can do. Note the rattlers are a little bugged at the moment. I think that might be technically accurate, but realistically the way the rattlers work, only 1 or 2 of the broken missile pieces will hit, so basically the rattler is like a cluster bomb. And then it has dozens of small missiles in it that deal damage individually. So realistically you're not going to get that, 5 million DPS or whatever it is, 5 million damage, excuse me. It's just a bunch of individual hits that are not likely to hit. But you can select your different missiles here. The next important part to note is that it also lets you adjust your missile bays. So if you are familiar, you can actually change the size of your missile racks that you have. You can do different racks in here. And the way that this works is, you read it like this from left to right. It's a size 3 rack that can fit 1 size 3 missile. So if I select this and I select a size 3 missile, you'll see it's a size 3 missile and I can only get 1. But down here, you'll see it's a size 3 rack and I can hold 2 size 2 missiles. And so now when it times 2, if I put a strike force in there, I get 2 of those. So this lets you really calculate your total maximum damage. Some people like to run with the largest number of size 1s that they can do. Some people like to run with the fewest numbers of the size 3s that they can run, for instance. But there's no wrong answer. You can see here, if I could just compare quick, you can see 4 size 1s do deal more damage than 1 size 3. But the thing is, you have to have 4 missiles hit. So that's how you update and change your missiles. Now I'm skipping and glancing over things here and there, but this is really the majority of what you're going to be doing in here. Again, if you're ever curious, you can click this little button and get the answer as to where you can buy these from, how much damage they're doing, and how much damage they add to your ship. Pretty nice. Now, in 3.14, all shields are identical at the moment, so it doesn't really make sense to adjust your shields. However, it used to be something you could change and have it have a big impact. At the moment, components are a little less variable than they used to be, I'll say. But just so you're aware, you can still, as always, go in here and select different shields that you want to use. You can see what different power plants there are. And again, when you select it, you can check out where to buy these items from, what coolers, etc. As well as what quantum. So that's pretty much the majority of how to use Urkel. The last part to show you is just if you save, you can save it as a startup ship or save in a new hangar. It's just a really quick way to save and share ship loadouts. The rest of these items on the left here are just more details about, like, if you wanted to look at all the individual weapons or all the individual shields, etc. So at the end of the day, if you have any questions about how to build a ship, come here first, try to make your own version. Then maybe hit up the Discord, see if anyone has one that they can share, and if they share you an Urkel link, you'll be that much more familiar. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope this helped. Take care.